All right, so here we have another one. This is your homework question number 1. Basically, you do the same thing that you've been doing. Just go in real quick, hit second memory, go down to 2 for management, then go to matrix. And so I'm just clearing out what I have in there. Oh, I only have 1. So just hit the delete button. Bam. Now go to second matrix. All of the homework problems, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but they're all going to be 3 by 4, right? When you have systems with 3 variables, they're 3 by 4 because you have 3 variables and then what it equals. So it's 3 and 3 equations. So it'd be 3 by 4. Anyways, hit enter. Now on this first one, remember we just put the coefficients, so it's going to be 2a and then negative 1b and then positive 1c is equal to negative 5. Okay? And I'm going to zoom this out so you guys could see it a little better. Then the next one, I just have 1a, right? And then negative 1b, but there's no c. In other words, there's 0 c's. So you put 0 in that column. Make sure there's a 0 there. And then it's equal to negative 2. So essentially, this is like the equal sign here. Somebody's going to make the mistake and put the negative 2 in here. Don't do that. There are 0 c's. On the next one, we have 2a. And then 1b. And again, we have 0 c's. Leave that as 0. And then that is equal to 5. Okay? I double check 2, negative 1, 1, negative 5. You guys can't see it, but I have it on my other screen here. 1a, second equation now. 1a, negative b, 0 c's equals negative 2. That's correct. And then 2a, 1b, 0 c's, and then a positive 5. Okay? Okay. So now I am going to do, well, let's just leave it up here. So now I hit second quit to get to the main screen. If I hit clear twice, that clears everything out. I always say second quit, but it's the mode button. A couple kids have been like, where's the quit button? Well, it says quit above it. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to, let's see what it is that I'm working with. I'm just going to plug in A. I need to make this equal 1. All right, so I want reduced row echelon form. This needs to be a 1. This needs to be a 1. This needs to be a 1. Everything else over here is zeros, and then these will be the solutions. So if I multiply, I'm going to hit second matrix, go to math, and multiply row 1 by 0.5, right? Yeah, thank you. 0.5. And what matrix am I doing that to? A. Plug that in, comma, first row, right? Plug in the 1. Well, bam. No, that's not bad. Okay, cool. So now I'm just going to add row 1. Actually, I'm going to add the negative of row 1 to row 2. So now I go to, wait, let's store that. Now, here's a trick that most people don't know. You could actually store it to A. If you don't want 10 million, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to store it to B. I'm going to store it to B because I realized I was going to do the reduced row echelon at the end to make sure and double check my work. So I stored that to B. So now I'm operating on B. So I hit second matrix, go to math. We're going to select multiply a row and then add it to another. I'm going to multiply the first row by negative 1 of matrix B. And that's the first row of matrix B. And then I'm going to add it to the second row. Don't forget your commas. Boom, I got a 0 here. Good, good, good. Next, I'm going to store that to matrix C. Oops, matrix C. And now I'm going to take this first row, multiply it by negative 2, and add it to the third row. And that'll give me my 0 here. So I'm going to go second matrix, go to the math, hit up, multiply a row, and then add it to another. I'm going to multiply by -2 the first row of now matrix C. That's the third one. Matrix C, comma, the first row, and then add it to the third row. Cool. Now I'm going to take, I need to make this first row, or the second row, equal 1. So I don't know if you picked up on this, but I do 1, 1, 1. And then once I have the 1 here, I'll make my zeros. So I'm going to just multiply that by a -2. So I'm going to hit, oh wait, I got to store that first, right? So I'm going to store that to matrix D. Okay. And then I'm going to hit second matrix, do the math. I'm just going to multiply this time. I'm going to multiply by -2 of matrix B, or D, which is the fourth one. So instead of scrolling down, if I just hit 4, it'll automatically put that in there. Row 2, and then close that up. Boom. Now I need to store that. Oops, wrong thing there. Store onto matrix E. Then I'm going to take this and multiply it by a positive 0.5 and add it to the first row. So I hit second matrix, math, multiply, and add. I'm going to multiply the second row by positive 0.5. And that's matrix E now, which is the fifth one, comma, second row, and then add it to the first row. Boom. Now I've got my 0 here. Okay, store that, matrix F, 6. Now I'm going to multiply the second row here by a -2, but did I store? Yeah, I stored. So I'm going to do second matrix, go to the math, hit up once. That's going to be the multiply the row and add it to another. So I'm going to multiply my second row by -0.5, comma, matrix F now is what we're on. And I'm going to multiply row 2 and add it to row 3. Wait a second. Oh, I screwed up. So this is the beauty of doing it this way. So this is the calculation. Mr. Adams was wrong on his math, right? I need it to equal -2, not 0.5. I got stuck in my head the last question that I did. So technically, this should be -2. And now it'll work. Why didn't you guys stop me? Didn't you see I was making a mistake? All right, let's store this. I can hear the class behind me. They're just being a little rowdy. All right, cool. So now I just need to figure out how to make this third row into a +1. So I'm going to just multiply that by the negative reciprocal of this. So that's -1/3. So I'm going to do the math. I'm going to hit second matrix math operation. We're just going to multiply. This is difficult because I can't put in -0.3 repeating. So I'm going to put negative, but I can put in a fraction, right? So I hit math, go over to fractions, put in a fraction. So I'm just going to say 1/3. That's what I'm multiplying by, comma, matrix G now. That's the 7th one, comma, the 3rd row. So I'm telling it to multiply the 3rd row of G by negative 1/3. Hit enter. Well, bam, with the bacon sizzle, we are good to go. Store that to matrix H, which is option number 8. Hit enter. All right. So now, if I just subtract or multiply by a negative 1, row 3 by row 2 and row 1, we're good to go. We're golden. So let's do that. I'm going to hit math. I'm going to go to option, the math, multiply row add, multiply by negative 1 of matrix. Now we're on H, which was the 8th one, comma. I'm multiplying row 3 and adding it to row 1. Boom. X equals 1. Let's store that. We're on matrix I now, which is the 9th one. Hit enter. All right, now I've got to do that again and add it to row 2. So I'm going to hit second matrix, and then go to the math menu. Multiply a row and then add it to another. I'm going to multiply by negative 1, comma, of matrix I now, which is the 9th one, by the 3rd row, and then add it to the 2nd row. Okay, so I'm going to take the 3rd row of I, multiply by negative 1, and then add it to the 2nd row, and that's going to make this equal 0. Okay, well, bam, with the bacon sizzle, X equals 1, or I'm sorry, actually it's A equals 1, B equals 3, C equals a negative 4. That's our solution. I'm going to store that to matrix J. Now I got to scroll down, I think. Yep, 0. Bam. There it is. So now this is J, which is with the work. And remember, and I know that you guys get a little frustrated, but I can find the answer by going to math. That is what we call the reduced row echelon form, RREF. Reduced row echelon form of A. This is how you double check your work. A is our original matrix that we started with. When I hit enter, I get the same thing. That way, and you really shouldn't make a mistake. If you're using the calculator and you go through and you get 1, 1, 1, the diagonal, you should have the same answer every time. Okay? Does anybody have any questions on that?